Hey guys, welcome back, Profit Takers. It's your girl here, Victoria. And today, before we get started, we got a word from our sponsor, and our sponsor is the Forex Trading Journal Planner, guys. Now, I designed this planner initially for myself, and I decided to share it with the world. All right, so let's get to it. So the question is, are you strong enough to stay in the game long enough? Trading in itself is very tough, right? In trading without any direction or any support, is even more difficult. So I designed this to kind of help you in your journey, all right? It's to help you trade better and start making more profits, be more of a consistent, profitable trader. Okay, so you're going to refine your strategies. It's going to help you to learn the market maker cycle. It's going to help you to identify the level that you are in the market maker cycle. Okay, it's going to help you to enter your trades, sniper entries, right? It's going to help you identify the most popular patterns like the M and W's, and of course the head and shoulders, which is three M's or W's to create that pattern, which is one of my favorite patterns. Okay, so what else is it going to help you do? It's going to help you determine how long the trend is going to last, the best times for you to be in front of the market. Okay, so at the end of the day, you're going to be planning, you're going to be recording, you're going to be reflecting on your trading, right? You're going to be charting your strategies, you're going to audit your trading activities. It's going to make you more efficient, right? It's going to help you to review and improve, right? It's always good to go back to see where you were strong at and where you were weak at, and then you're going to know exactly what to do. Now, when you get this journal, guys, I actually have like several copies. You can get the standard blue one that you see there, or you can get the pink one, and the pink one does come in different colors, guys. And you can just visit my store, the Strong Enough store, and you can also find it on Amazon. It's actually going to direct you to Amazon to buy the journals. I found that it's just a more efficient way of doing business with Amazon, right? So when you do that, you will also get free MT4 indicators, all right? And you'll see the ones that I use all the time on my charts, and they're going to be yours for free. All right, so be sure to subscribe, like, comment, give me your feedback, guys. I really appreciate it. And with that, let's get to the charts. Welcome back, profit takers. I hope you guys are having a awesome day. So today we're going to kind of follow up on, the trend, the market maker trend, and talk about the three pushes. Okay. So yesterday we were looking at Aussie, but my main focus yesterday's video was on the NAS and the three levels. Okay. So today, and I did touch on a little bit with Aussie. I was not sure. Like, we always say to have an expectation. Sometimes I don't know what's going on with the market until I get to the chart and then I see what's up, right? So another good thing that I recommend that you guys do is to mark your pushes, okay? So let me bring out my pen here, guys, so that I can explain what I mean. We did do this yesterday, but it's always a good exercise to continue to do this so that you remember that, you should expect about 3 pushes up or down, and this is going to help you determine when the trend is going to change, okay? So we talked about the beautiful pattern, okay? Right? And we talked about how this would be, your new peak could be somewhere here, right? This is, let's say that's a Monday, and then this is a Tuesday, and this is your one peak formation high, right? This is that first push. So let me change the color here so we can see. So this is your first push down, okay? This is your second push. What am I doing here, guys? I was trying to... Okay, that was not very good. Let's try that again. So this is one, and this is two, and then this is going to be your third push. All right. So then this is your fourth push. So your fourth push, you're expecting the trend to change. All right. So that's exactly what happened with Aussie. And we were talking about how oftentimes if you can't see the level that you're in, then oftentimes it's just a good idea to have your highs and lows of the previous week or the month identified on your chart. So that's what I did. And I love to use these areas here. Let me take the scroll off here so that we can move back. So I love to use these areas where we have clear stop hunts. Okay. So obviously the high, I used this particular area up here because we did get a peak there, and we established that peak there, and we had a beautiful head and shoulders pattern, which is, again, this M pattern. It's like 3 M's put together. So this happened last week. What was that? 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Yeah, December 14th. Okay. So we had this beautiful drop here. So technically, when you see, again, this was your first day of the peak. This is the second day of the peak. Second day of the peak often goes all the way to the low. And that's the area that you do want to identify, right? And I did not identify that for whatever reason. So let's just do that because we're talking about it. All right. What's the area? Okay. So I love to use these areas, again, like I was mentioning, these stop hunts, these areas of liquidity, these order block areas. Those are great areas for where you want to identify your SNR, your support and resistance. And I just like to say SNR just to keep it short, right? So this was the second day of the peak, and usually once it drops this much, right, like I said, this cycle literally completed, right? It literally completed, and now it just went into consolidation. And again, December, we had a lot of holidays, we had a lot of news, so you're going to see how the market just basically was in range mode for like 2 days, almost 3 days. But on that third day, it finally dropped, and then it created a new low. So we had that peak formation low that was established right here for us to go long. Okay. And so guess what? So we're talking about 3 pushes, right? We've already determined that this is the pattern that we're looking for. Well, a version of this pattern is never going to be that perfect, but that is somewhat of a pattern that we're looking for. So once prices, what did I want to do? What did I want to do first? I wanted to go back to my pen and show y'all. Okay, this was darn near perfect. So then it ranged and ranged, right? And it finished the pattern again, because here, once it finished this, when it ranges like that, I don't know what's going on, guys. I just take a big guess, right, on what is going on, right? So then it did this again, and then boom, we're back, right? So the W is obviously like this. Let me show y'all what that looks like. It's just the reverse, right? It's just the reverse, nothing fancy. Okay, just like this. All right, so that's what are we expecting here, right? We're expecting one push here. Okay, we have 1 push, 2 push, and then 3 push. Okay, and then 4, right? So once that 4th push, once these 3 pushes are completed, we're expecting this thing to change. We're expecting the trend to change. And that happened here. So I'm going to erase this so that we don't have too much drama on our chart here while I'm trying to explain these 3 pushes and what to look for. We had this push right here. Of course, it came all the way. We had this huge, anytime you see these big gigantic spikes, and this is another area that I probably would have wanted to identify as well. But I had it identified earlier, but I just took it off because you see this purple line here. This is the quarter point, right? This is the 0.675. So I figured that was enough. I didn't really need to add another area there with this red. You know, I use a red, whatever color you use for your support and resistance. I felt like this was enough. Okay, so we had our first push here, right? We had our second push here, and then we had our third push. So what am I expecting when I come to the market on Tuesday? All right, I'm expecting for this thing to change. I'm expecting for the trend to change when it comes to when I show up at the market, right? Get a drink of water. All right. So as you can see, let me erase this. We're getting kind of busy, but you can see, guys, this, you can use these three pushes, especially when they're super duper clear like this, and find them in the range of them. I mean, this literally is just ranging. And yesterday I was looking at this, I was like, man, this thing is just ranging. The best thing you can do is identify your highs and the lows of the previous week. Use your if I forgot to mention, to use these areas of liquidity where you see these spikes, right? That's where news was. That's a stop hunt. I mean, if you look at this day, whatever, you know, anything gigantic like this is obviously, you know, liquidity. You know, this is like news always. All right. So back to the three pushes. See how easy that is, guys, that you can use this to help you to determine where you are in the market maker cycle, so that when you come back to the chart, you come here and you can look back and you're like, okay, we got those three pushes done. So I am expecting a drop, right? I am expecting this drop right here. This is what we consider the complete of the cycle, right? It's just going to continue to repeat itself, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, reverse. So 1, 2, 3, reverse. Remember that song, 1, 2, 3, reverse? Same thing here. And this day right here, we had a gigantic drop. This was probably, I don't know. Usually when we have our first peak, I don't even remember what happened this day on the 22nd of December. But usually when you see these gigantic drops right here, you can almost always assume that the cycle is done. Okay? You can almost always do that. So why is that so skinny? That's not what I wanted. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, here we go. Boom. All right, sometimes you can complete this entire drop, this all 3 ADR drop in a single day. And where are we? Right back at the low. Okay, we're back at the low. Not quite at the low, but we're at the low for the day, right? So now I added that, right? I did draw my little SNR there. And so from here, I just started to mark. Okay, I just marked the, as you can see clearly, I marked the pushes. 1, get my pen back. 1, 2, and then 3. So yesterday when I came, I took this trade short. I didn't hold on it too long, but I held on it until I felt like, okay, I managed this trade because I wasn't really sure what the heck was going to happen with it, right? It was coming from the high. That is the trade that I like to take. But again, we're still in holiday season, right? So for me, I like to just day trade for the day and be done. Okay, so I took this trade off of the high, off of this here area, because I knew that I was going to be able to go short. But at the same time, this particular market was still trending long, because obviously we still have prices above the 200. Now that's going to be another video, another short video for y'all about the EMAs. But today we're just talking about pushes. So once I got to the market today, I look back. I'll always look back and I look left. I'm on M30, right? Sometimes I do go from H1 to M30 to M15 just so I can see the big picture. Sometimes the pattern may not be clear on one particular time zone, so you want to play around with the time zones. the time frames to see which one is going to work, that where you can see what's going on, right? Because again, like I said, this is a ranging market, but within the range of this market, we had these pushes that were continuing to follow the trend of the market maker cycle. But it wasn't like the beautiful cycle that we have like this, right? It wasn't this beautiful one, right? It wasn't as clear as what we would have expected it to be, but nonetheless, we still got it. We still got our 3 pushes, okay? So once I got to the chart today, excuse me, I looked back, I marked my areas, because I didn't have them marked yesterday, right? Because yesterday I was really just focused on, the levels. But but for today, I went back and I marked them, and I was like, okay, we are ready to go to do a shift in the trend. So I was like, all right, let's do this thing. So I just waited. I waited, and then once it was done, I took my entry, I believe it was somewhere around here, and then I took it to the quarter. This is an excellent area to get out of the trade, okay? And that was it. That was the easy breezy trade, and then you're done for the day, okay? Now those types of trades, once you see that the market has finished the previous cycle, this is the trade that you can typically put some, you can go heavy on your position here, or you can do multiple positions, whatever you want to do. But this is the trade that you can go heavy on when you're taking this thing short, okay? So now we're just going to wait and see what happens, right? Is this market going to continue to drop and give us the second day, give us that next drop, right? Or is it going to, continue to stay above the 200, right? And then continue to go long? I have no idea what's going to happen. So once I get to the market tomorrow, I'm going to wait and see, because usually once you have your first drop here of a new cycle, oftentimes this is also an area where prices can also, instead of giving you the W, excuse me, let me clear this so I can show you what I mean. Oftentimes you have to be considered, if this thing does not break. Let me go ahead and get to my H1 and see what H1 looks like. All right, so we're on H1. If this thing decides not to break structure and come back below here in this area right here, and it maintains above the 200 and it doesn't break the structure, then this thing is still long. Sometimes it might just go short just for a little bit, right? It might do something like this, and then you're, oops, I'm running out of leverage real estate on my desk here. Let's try this again. Sometimes it will do this. Come back down here, and then boom. And then boom, it does it again, right? I have no idea. But what you want to do is make sure that you're paying attention to what price is doing. What has price done? And identify your areas, right, of support and resistance, and then trade what you see, right? Just react to it, right? I've been wrong a lot of times. I'm not always perfect at this, but when I use these little tools that that has helped to guide me throughout this process, they do work, right? And they do help me in making the decision once I get to the chart on what to expect from price for the day. So I'm not going to be one of those gun-ho, oh, this thing is definitely short. I'm going to wait and see, right? I'm always going to wait and see what happens. Let Asia do its thing, right? When I get to London, I'm not even going to be able to trade London because it's just way too late for me. It's like midnight. It's like 12:30. So I'm not, trading that, waking up early, 1 o'clock in the morning. I get up around, my alarm starts going off around 2 and 2:30, and I'm snoozing all the way till 3 o'clock is when I show up at the market, because I'm out here in Pacific time zone. So I wish I could trade London. I do, because I think London is one of the better trade sessions out there. New York has like the worst when it comes to that I've noticed, right? That when it comes to the news, it's like so volatile and everything. And I think London does some really clear, beautiful setups, especially for the pairs that I trade. And I don't know what you're trading, but for the pairs that I trade, I think that fits. All right, guys. So that is all I have to share for now. I hope you got some value from this video. Please like or subscribe if you have not already. And I want to thank you, all the subscribers that we have thus far. We're still on our challenge here to get to our next milestone, and share, comment, like, and also don't forget we do have the locals channel where you can share your charts, and if you have questions about what the market is doing, we can I can always take a look at it and just give you an idea of what I think about it. So our next video, we're going to talk about the ADR. I know I got a lot going on here, that's another part of what you can use to help you in the trend. Okay. All right, guys, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.